Hello, and what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Speculation Alley. It's your boy A-Bomb, and of course, with me as usual is my brother from another mother, Crypto Dilly. What's going on, man?
What is going on? Your valiant steed, if you will.
Yes, absolutely. That's what I'm going to refer to you as now. The valiant steed. I love it. Yes.
And in the morning, I'm making waffles.
Popping manly stories, and in the morning, I'm making waffles.
What are we getting into today, brother? Break it down. What are we doing?
Dude, there's a lot to touch on. I mean, there's a lot going on in the ecosystem. So obviously, I think the first thing that I want to hit on is the star map that kind of like popped up. We haven't touched on that in any of our videos. So I wanted to make a reference to that. The first thing that we see is obviously like the Wind Moon holding the I guess the tablet, if you will, and it has what looks like a star map. And there's a lot of people within the community that have like referenced like a star map from astrology. However, I forget who pointed this out, but they referenced the 9353 on the Otherside video and how that actually directly correlates and all the characters kind of align. And so we like piecing that together. I think that's where Wagmi-san is. And they actually it was alpha in plain sight, right? They have Wagmi-san in the dune buggy with the chain pulling on that plot of land that we're seeing Coda, Curtis, and the Voyager actually veer into at the same time that in New Tokyo, Wind Moon finds this tablet. So it says this is where he is at. Well, 9353 land plot makes a lot of sense in that regard. Do you have any thoughts on that?
No, I just wanted to say that does make sense. I like how those dots are being connected, and they did put in that tweet, did he leave this here for us? So that would further sort of indicate potentially some sort of message or alpha in plain sight that we might have overlooked. I like that. What are we getting into next? What else do we have to go over today?
I mean, I think that I may have discovered a major breakthrough. So everyone's been really focused on the Obelisk, the first trip, and how that triangle kind of matches up to the top of the sign from the New Tokyo Electric Company. However, what I was looking through, I sifted all the way to the bottom of the Obelisk, and there's actually a piece, it's called the Aeronauts. And the Aeronauts actually talks about, it says, much of the other side is shrouded in mystery, which we all know. But who knows what Voyagers might discover with a new perspective. Now, this shard, this piece of the obelisk is very interesting. And the reason I say that is because if you mirror it, just like the other side, and you flip it over, it actually has the exact same format on all the different angles of the triangle. So when you overlay those with each other, it's very interesting to see that relationship. And what I am speculating is that New Tokyo Electric Company, they just introduced these new characters into the storyline. They're talking about formal, basically statements that are being sent out in the Discord. And now you have the end of the actual trips happening where I feel they might be at the focal point, the epicenter of what's going on. Now, we've actually said in previous videos that the Bonsai tree and 10 KTF, with Wagmi-san, is powering the other side. The New Tokyo Electric Company very well could actually be the power source for the other side. Now, that kind of leads directly into obviously what's been going on with Dookey Dash and this new tweet that got sent out by the Bored Ape Yacht Club about the actual power shards and how they're connecting to these Evo suits, right? And one theory that I wanted to bring up, shout out Jesse Bryan for this, but if anybody's actually seen Transformers and they're familiar with the Allspark, if there is an actual massive cube or a power source inside the box from the medieval monkey that came out of the toilet, right? And this key gives you access to this power shard. It could be a direct correlation to the actual narrative that was behind Transformers. And the reason I say this, it actually says that the Allspark is a creation of sentient life as a boundless, infinite source of pure cosmic energy that symbolizes Cybertron's very god. The Allspark can imbue life into its highly advanced technological organisms into different cybernetic races, which are the Autobots, Decepticons, Terracons, and Maximals. With this information, if this power source is designed to actually like basically give these organisms life, well, then they drop this schematic of the different Evo suits, right? And what we do know is that these sewer passes were dropped in tiers, right? We have 4 different tiers. You have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4. With the different power sources, like if you actually put those into the different suits, you have different makeups of like how they could actually be ran and how they could give life. So I'm thinking that like the suits are directly correlated to the sewer pass tiers. I also think that tier 2 and tier 4, because we see the kennel dog in one of the suits, I think the tier 2 and tier 4 pass, that may be the only way that you're able to actually get that suit. But what we do know is that Dookey Dash is one game in a series of mini games that's going to be launched. And these are mini games that are part of an interactive mint. And we're collecting these fragments to basically like build out like our suits and make them bigger. So, I mean, there's a lot to unpack there. Obviously, the key to the power source, you got like the different levels of suits. I mean, where do you kind of shape up on all this speculation?
I mean, oh, wow, you just dropped some bombs, baby. You just went off. Yeah, straight up. Okay, I think that that being a power source makes a lot of sense. First of all, I just want to go off of the visualization of it. When we see the box being opened to Curtis or whoever that was, there's like this yellow glow, right? So then we see in the schematics of these mechs, we see this yellow almost power source within them. And what's interesting, and I wanted to point this out to you, is that in all of the Evos, except for the Evo 3, which has the dog in it, they all have this little like yellow like diamond almost at the top of their head, which matches the same color as what we think is the power source potentially. So that matches up pretty well, except for the dog. And the dog isn't a sentient being, therefore it wouldn't need this like, I guess, like sentient type of tech to be installed into the mech that it is in, not similar to, you know, its counterparts, the Evo 2 and the Evo 1, that would need that to be able to like process information as such. So, I mean, yo, Jesse Bryan, bro, just smoking it with that that Allspark concept. I love that idea.
Well, in watching the videos for Transformers, it's so weird because like there's an overlap with the way that they overlay the text, right? Like whenever any of the robots, Decepticons like speak, it like pops up in like subtitles in a like different language in their like celestial language, and then it like translates to English for us. And we're seeing that same thing take place in the way that they actually do the other side videos, right? The one that launched, it has like 9353 and like weird coding that is coda language, and then it like shifts into English plain text for us to be able to read. So whether they're drawing a lot of like their creative processes from the Transformers, I think the narration is definitely on point. But what's really interesting is I think there's going to be direct tie-in with these layer 2 projects. Like Applied Primate, we are already seeing like these apes, or I would say they're monkeys because they have tails, and like these incubation chambers that have like a glowing chest piece. But also we know that they're searching for the megas, right? And one thing that's really interesting is that the megas are being persuaded in different ways. And if they actually get persuaded to go and like be with the Simian Path from the Mutant Cartel and like what's been summoning these mega ceremonies, like this could actually lead up to a massive conflict, which makes sense as to why the mechs would need to be in existence, is to like prepare for this bigger battle that's going to play out at the later parts of the season. And if this box actually contains a power source that's necessary to be able to like feed energy into all these mechs, like this is like explaining the story in a way that you are drawing content from all these like movies that have happened in the past. And we know that like Gordon and Garga, they draw inspiration from a lot of different stuff, especially like Michael Figge, who is now the chief content officer, he's in the production like industry. He is around this stuff. Maybe he's had some involvement, like you said earlier, in like the creation of like Transformers, or maybe people on the team did. And I think that we're going to see some of the tie-in definitely happen between some of these layer 2s and the future like progression of the story.
Bro, that is just so sick. Like, if again, this is speculation alley, everyone. So if that does happen, I'm going to be blown away. All I'm seeing is like the mega electric ape. You know which one I'm talking about? That's my favorite. I'm seeing him like in this awesome, like, you know, we knew like this type of like visuals that we've seen. Him like shocking a whole bunch of mechs and then just like falling, bro. Like, that would be so fucking sick. You know what I mean? And then behind him's like black suit. He's like, go. You know what I mean? I don't know. You guys, if anyone wants to sign me up for writing, let me know, guys.
Another thing with that is like, we know that they've said choose a side, right? Like that's kind of been a big narrative. So like, where are the sides? How is this going to shape up? And what's really fun is that this sewer pass is a dynamic NFT. It's going to actually like basically be your gateway into the mint of the future, like whatever it is, whether we're minting mechs in the future or we're getting companion NFTs, whatever it might be. I think that regardless of what it is, we're going to be able to use them in the other side 100%. So that's another piece of speculation to layer on top of this just alpha packed episode that we're laying out right now.
It's nuts. So we're, excuse me, it's crazy because we're over here thinking like Wagmi-san, then you're saying left Wenmoon and Boss Toad, sort of like an alpha in plain sight, like secretive message of where he was on the tablet. We have Applied Primate getting involved with potentially in the story of what's going on with Curtis and them, with the mechas that are coming up and maybe them fighting the megas. Like, bro, that it's just nuts, bro. I think we just dumped a whole bunch of goodies on some folks, so or trash. So you make your own decision. Let us know below in the comments what you think of this content.
All of this is financial advice. I'm just kidding.
All of it. That's todo. Okay, yeah. That's Spanish for all of it, guys. Well, all right, I think that's gonna do it. Oh no! Oh, you got more? Let's go, baby.
No, I was just gonna say I think we need to hit on the LA event that's happening. I personally like what I mean, let's just hear your thoughts. What do you think this event is actually going to be? Do you think that this is going to be Midori Land, massive party, everyone's going to miss out? Or do you think that this is going to be something a little different?
I think it's going to be a little different. Personally, I just don't think that the team would, first of all, invest that many resources into an event that not the larger part of their community was able to make or was aware of even, you know, ahead of time so that they can make the proper arrangements to get there. That's part one. Part two, I think that it is partially a way for them to offset maybe some shipping costs. You know, I know that shipping is not cheap right now, and for Kagamis to be going all across the globe, it's probably going to cost some money. So if they're saying, hey, if anybody's in LA, we'll buy you some drinks, we'll buy you some food, come pick up your swag and your Kagami, whether it's a comfy hoodie or a Kagami, or you just want to grab some drinks, you know what I mean? You're part of 10KTF. Come on through. But I think it's going to be pretty cash. I don't think it's going to be a banger. I think it'll be fun. I don't think it's going to be like NFT NYC or NFT LA, but that is another thing. Like, why are they doing this event before NFT LA? I go back to Brenswaw's speculation as far as potential Kagami utility. What if we need to activate these Kagamis before this event in NFT LA because it's Yuga now, not 10KTF, and maybe this is actually one of the last 10KTF official hangouts that we see. It may be Yuga 10KTF from now on. We don't know.
The other thing, too, that you just made me think of is obviously New Tokyo Electric Company is the one that's going to be like fulfilling the rest of these orders, right?
Right.
And if you are going to have an activation event where you power up these different Kagamis, like it fits the narrative of a like power company that they want to like strengthen the grid and they want to like power up and be able to connect everything, right? But
I loved that theory. When Brenswaw said that, I was like, dude, that's awesome. That's so cool. So,
money.
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll definitely see. But that's going to be it for this episode of Speculation Alley. We appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching us every single week. We do one of these every single Wednesday, and we follow it up with a Twitter space that happens at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Definitely go check that out. We're going to be talking about all the stuff that we just unpacked here in this week. And definitely don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment what you guys think of our speculation. Again, this is speculation. Definitely go buy and pump our bags, but realize that it's at your own risk, right? But that's going to be it for this one, guys. We appreciate watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.